Hari Om, dear students. Welcome to our online session. In today's session, we are going to discuss about ninth lesson, that is Madam Rides the Bus, part 2. In the previous part, we have discussed about a girl by name Valli who used to stand at her doorstep and always used to watch the people who pass by, and also the bus which used to come to her village very frequently, and the passengers who enters or who travels in the bus. And finally she got a desire or a wish to travel in the bus, and finally she calculated the money or the fare of the ticket to travel in the bus, and also the time duration of the journey to travel in the bus. And finally she planned, replanned and finally decided to travel in the bus. With this we have ended the previous part, isn't it, children? Yeah. And now let us continue the lesson. And before continuing, children, do read the lesson twice and continue this lesson. Okay? Yeah. Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" And a tiny hand was raised commandingly. So, as Wali decided to get into the bus, after a few days, one fine spring day in the sense in the spring season, one fine afternoon, when the bus was about to leave the village and it was turning to the main highway, at that point of time, a small voice was it was shouting. The voice was shouting, "Stop the bus, stop the bus." The voice was shouting, and also a tiny hand raised commandingly, "Stop the bus, stop the bus." In this way, a small hand, it got raised very commandingly in the sense here having command or control. Okay. And the bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out of the door, said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." "It's me," shouted Wally. "I'm the one who has to get on." By now, the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh, really? You don't say so?" So finally, when this bus was moving in the afternoon, a small voice was coming out like shouting, stop the bus," and it was none other but Wali. So when that voice was heard by the driver, the bus slowed down to crawl in the sense the speed of the bus decreased and it got slowed down, and the conductor of the bus, he just peeped out of the, sticking his head out of the door, in the sense he just peeped out of the door, and he said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." So he just kept his head out, and he was saying that, "Come quickly, whoever is to come." And at that time, Wali said that, "It's me," shouted Wali. "Yeah, I'm coming. It's me. I have to get into the bus. I'm the one who has to get on. It's me. I have to get into the bus," she said. By now, the bus had come to a stop, and conductor said, "Oh, really? You don't say so. So is it you who are coming into the bus?" "You don't say so," because here the conductor is thinking that the girl is so small, and he said that, "Oh, it is you. Don't say so." He said, "You can see in the bus here, the bus got slowed down to the corner, and it was just waiting, and the conductor said, whoever it is coming, come quickly. And Valli said that, no, it is none other than, but it is me. And the conductor was a little puzzled, and oh, it is you. Oh, he said. Yes, I simply have to go to town, said Wally, still standing outside the bus, and here is my money. She showed him some coins. Okay, okay, but first you must get on the bus, said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to help her up. So when the conductor asked whoever it is, just come, tell them to come quickly, she said that it is none other but it's me, I have to get into the bus. He was shocked. Oh, is it you? And immediately she said that, Valli, yeah, I have to go to town. And she was still standing outside of the bus, and she was showing, here is the money. She said she just showed some coins in her hand, and she said that here is the money. And then the conductor said, okay, okay, but first you must get into the bus. You're standing outside. You must get into the bus, said the conductor. And he tried to stretch his hand to help her. You can see in the picture, the conductor was stretching his hand to help the girl. And she said, never mind, she said. I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me. So the girl said that, never mind. I can get by myself. I can get into the bus by myself. I don't want your help. By saying this, Wally was about to get into the bus. The conductor was a jolly sort, fond of joking. Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam, he said. Here, have a seat right up there in the front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for madam. So here, the conductor, he was kind of some jolly person, jolly sort in the sense, he was a jovial person, and he's fond of joking, always used to poke jokes. So when this girl said that, yeah, I can get into the bus, I don't want any help, I myself will get into the bus. And immediately he said, oh, then please don't be angry with me. Don't get angry with me. My fine madam, he said. He said madam to a 8-year-old girl, Wally. And here, have a seat right up there in the front. He just showed a seat in the front of the bus. Here is a seat right up there in the front. You can go and have the seat, madam. And everybody move aside, please. Make a way for madam. He was just telling to the other passengers what he was saying. He was saying, just move away. Everybody move aside. Make a way for madam. So in this way, the conductor, he was just poking a kind of a joke. And here, as the conductor, he said, madam to Wally, he just called Madam Wally. That's why the title Madam Rides the Bus. Okay. And see here, Wally getting into the bus. It was the slack time of the day, and there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Wally and laughing with the conductor. Wally was overcome with shyness. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. So when he said to everyone in the bus, move aside, please make a way for madam, it was almost slack time. Slack time in the sense, a time when there is not much work, like not many passengers, very few passengers were there in the bus, hardly 6 or 7 passengers were there, and all of them started looking at Wally and laughing along with conductor. And here Wally, she felt a little kind of a shyness. She felt shy, and immediately she tried to avoid all these people and went to an empty seat, and she sat down there. May we start now, madam? The conductor asked, smiling. So when when he said everyone to make a way for the madam, and when everyone were laughing, she finally Wali went and sat in one of the seats. And at that time, conductor went to Wali and asked, "May we start now, madam?" And he was just smiling and just kidding. "May we start now, madam?" Then he blew his whistle twice and the bus moved forward with a roar. So after that, he just took out his whistle. All of you might be knowing that the conductors will be having a whistle whenever they wanted to stop the bus or start the bus. They just blew the whistle, isn't it? So in the same way here, this conductor, he just took out his whistle and he blew it twice, and then the bus started moving. And it was a new bus. Its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. Inside, the overhead bar shone like silver. Directly in front of Wally, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. So here, as Wally, she was for the first time she got into the bus, she started observing the total bus. So she was just the moment she was getting into the bus itself, she had just seen the bus. It was almost like a new bus, and it was painted with a outside, and the outside of the bus was painted like a gleaming white, gleaming in the sense reflecting light because of a very clean and polished. So the total bus was painted with a some white color, and as well as on the white color some green stripes were there on the sides, and it was almost like a shining. And inside the bus, the overhead bars in the sense the bars which were there on the top of the head just to catch hold of here. So these overhead bars, just they were almost looking like a silver, and directly in front of Valli, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. So these bars were of a silver color, and when she had seen in the front of just opposite to her, there was a big beautiful clock, and the total all the seats were very soft and luxurious. So in this way, the moment Valli got into the bus, she started observing everything, like how the bus is, how the seats are, and what are the things are there in the bus. As she was getting for the first time, everything looked very beautiful and new for her. Okay. Wally devoured everything with her eyes. Wally, she was just looking at the things in the bus, and she devoured everything. Devoured in the sense, looked at and absorbed the view of. So here she was looking at everything, and she was totally absorbed in that. And but when she started to look outside, she found her view cut by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So when she was looking inside the bus, when she was seeing everything, it was fine. But the moment when she started looking through the window, she couldn't see properly because her view was cut by a canvas. Canvas in the sense, children, here, see here, a strong cloth made from ham for a flask or an, and a blind in the sense screen. See here, most of the buses in the half here, they'll be having some kinds of a cloth or kind of a bars to the half of the window here. Because of that, the view of the things outside the window are not so proper. So because of that, Valli, who was sitting here, like Valli, when she was sitting here near the window, and she couldn't see what was there outside because of the canvas. Canvas nothing but, as I told you, some kind of a bars which were just kept at the lower part of the window, we might have seen such kind of a canvas blind even in the buses now, isn't it? So because of this canvas, she couldn't see what was there in the outside the bus. So because of that, she stood up on the seat and she tried to look over the blind. That means over those bars. She just stood up and then she started seeing what was there outside the bus through the window. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was the canal and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains and the blue sky. So when she was just looking through the window, she had seen a canal. Canal in the sense it's a small kind of a construction. You see here in the picture where the water is flowing, isn't it? Canal in the sense a kind of a construction through which water flows, isn't it? So bank in the sense, what do you mean by bank, children? The bank where we just save our money? No, the edge of the canal. So here the bus was going at the edge of the canal, bank of the canal. So here is the canal and the bus was going at the edge of the canal, and from there the total road was very narrow in the sense, what do you mean by narrow, children? Very thin. So the road was very thin and the bus was going on this road, and on one side of the canal and there were many palm trees and grasslands, distant mountains and blue sky. So when she was just seeing through the window, she could see a huge palm trees and grasslands. You can see in the pictures, as far as I could see, a green what do we call grasslands were there and the distant mountains are there and the blue sky, and the other side was a deep ditch, and then acres of a green fields, green as far as the eye could see. So this regularly we do it, children. So whenever you go for a travel, just whenever you are on a journey, what do? You just simply sit in the train or the bus where you are sitting. Definitely not, isn't it? Definitely we would like to have a look at the things outside through the window, isn't it? In the same way here, Wali, she was observing everything, okay, outside through the window. She had seen a canal and the bus was going on the bank of the canal where the road was very narrow, and when she was seeing through the window here, she could see a huge palm trees, grasslands, mountains and the blue sky, and on the other side, one side these things were there, on the other side there was a huge acres and acres of a green fields, and the total area was green as far as I could see. So on the one side, if you see here, on the one side what was there? Grasslands, palm trees, mountains and blue sky, and on the other side acres and acres of a green fields, and as far as I could see the total land was green. So in this way she was just seeing on the both the sides of the bus just by standing itself, as she couldn't see through the canvas. Suddenly she was startled by a voice. "Listen, child," said the voice. "You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down." So here, when Valli, she was just peeping through the windows this side and that side, and was just looking at the beautiful views of grasslands on one side and the other side palm trees, mountains and many other things. She felt that, wow, oh, how beautiful it is or how wonderful it is. She was enjoying. At that time, she was startled. Startled in the sense, what do you mean by startled? It's a kind of a jet, just like this. So she was startled by a voice. That voice was nothing but, "Listen, child." The voice said, "You should not stand like that. Sit down," the voice said. And sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. So when this voice uh, came, just "You should sit down, you should not stand," she sat down and then she looked to see who had spoken to her, and it was an elderly man who was honestly, who was sincerely, was concerned for her, but she was annoyed in a sense, a little angry for his attention. Why was he saying to me? So in this way, the girl was a little annoyed. "And there is nobody here who is a child," she said haughtily. "I have paid my 30 pies like everyone else." So the moment this elderly man said to sit down and he should not stand, immediately she got little annoyed and said that there is nobody who is a child here. And she said haughtily in the sense, very proudly she said that there is no one here, child, and I too have paid my 30 pies like everyone else. So why are you calling me and why are you saying me to sit? She said. The conductor chimed in, who said that this is a very grown-up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone? So immediately when this girl and as well as the elderly man were talking, and the girl was saying to man that, "Don't say a child, nobody is there a child here, and I have paid my fare," as everyone paid at that time. The conductor chimed in the sense, interrupted the conversation, and he said, "Oh, sir, this is a very grown-up madam, not a child. This is a very grown-up madam. And do you think a girl can pay her own fare and travel all alone to the city? It is not possible now. So she is not a girl. She is a grown-up madam." This conductor said to the elderly man here. And Wally shot angry glance at the conductor and said, "I am not a madam, please remember that. And you have not yet given me my ticket." So when this conductor was saying that she's not a girl and she is a grown-up madam, immediately Wally, she shot an angry glance in the sense, took a brief and hurried look. She looked at the conductor in this way and she started saying that, "I'm not a madam. Please remember that." Okay. And also, you haven't given me my ticket. Though you have taken money, you didn't give me a ticket. See, a girl of 8 years here, she remembered that to collect the ticket. She knows that when she pays amount, she has to collect ticket from the conductor. So here she said that, "You haven't given me my ticket," she said. And the conductor said, "I will remember," the conductor said, mimicking her tone. Everyone laughed and gradually Wally too joined in laughter. So when this girl asked that, "You haven't given me the ticket," immediately conductor said, "I will remember." He started just like no, he started imitating her voice, Wally's voice, and at that time everyone started laughing in the bus, and even the girl started laughing, and it was nice conversation and a nice scene for everyone. Everyone were enjoying there. Okay. When this conductor said that this is not a girl, sir, and is a very grown up madam, because a child cannot travel all alone by paying fare and traveling all alone to town. Immediately here the girl got angry and she just looked at her, she just looked at him, and what did she say? I'm not a madam. Please remember that. And you didn't give me ticket. Still, she asked. And then the conductor said, yes, madam, I'll remember. He just imitated her, and everyone burst into laughter along with Wally. By saying that I will remember, the conductor punched a ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? Because I want to, she answered, standing up again. So immediately the conductor, here you can see in the picture, he took out the ticket, he punched that and he tried to give to the girl. So he took out the tickets, he punched and he gave to the girl, and he said that you can just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Sit and make yourself comfortable. When you have paid for the ticket, why are you standing? He asked. And immediately the girl said that because I wanted to stand, I'm standing. She answered. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That's why we want you to sit down, child. So when the girl said that I want to stand and that's why I'm standing, the conductor said that okay, but if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus just stops suddenly or hits a bump. Bump in the sense here, children, speed breakers. See here in the picture I have given, when the bus, when it hits a bump or when it just gives a sudden break, here the girl may get hurt. The girl may fall or get hurt. And that's why this conductor is asking the girl to sit. That's why we want you to sit down, child, the conductor said. I'm not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. I'm 8 years old. So the moment again the conductor said child, immediately she said that I'm not a child. How many times I should say? She told very irritably, I'm 8 years old. And of course, how stupid of me, 8 years. Mine. The bus stopped. Some new passengers got on, and the conductor got busy for a time. So the moment the girl said that 8 years, yeah, of course, yeah, I'm so stupid. I have forgotten, yeah, 8 years. In this way, the conductor was saying, and at that time, the bus stopped, and many new passengers were getting into the bus, and immediately this conductor got very busy for a while, for some time. After, afraid of losing her seat, Wally finally sat down. So till then, who asked her to sit, she didn't sit, isn't it? But the moment new passengers entered into the bus, she immediately sat in her seat. This will happen, isn't it, children? Even you too might have done this. Though your parents say to sit or some other people say to sit, you will not sit. You will try to stand and enjoy. The moment new stop comes and new passengers get onto the bus or the train, immediately you will go and sit because of a fear that you may lose your seat, isn't it? So in the same way here, Valli also sat in her seat. Okay, and see here. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Valli as the bus started again. So when the bus started its journey, a old woman sat beside her and she started asking, are you all alone, dear? Are you traveling alone? She asked Valli, and Valli found the woman absolutely repulsive. Such big holes she had in her earlobes and such ugly earrings in them. So the moment she looked at the old woman, the moment Valli looked at the old woman, she was absolutely repulsive, just looking like totally different. and she was having a very big holes to the ears. See here in the ear, she was having very big holes, and even the earrings which she was wearing were very ugly, and she could smell a beetle nut the woman was chewing and see the beetle juice that was threatening to spill over her lips at any moment. So the moment she was just observing the old lady, this old woman, she was just looking very repulsive. It's very different, and she was having a big holes to the ear, and you can see the old women who were just having a big holes which were hanging to the ears, and even the earrings were very ugly. And here Valli could smell the beetle net. Beetle nets, you all know, no? Yeah, beetle net and beetle leaves, what she was chewing, and almost the juice was about to spill over. Spill in the sense, come out of the mouth and spill over her lips at any moment. And it was really very irritable to Valli here. Huh? Who could be sociable with such a person? She was thinking, how can we be so sociable? Sociable in the sense, very comfortable to talk and move on and make friendship. How can we be so sociable? How can we move very socially with such kind of people? She was trying to question herself, because here the woman, she was very repulsive, and she was having a big holes to the ears, and even the earrings were very ugly, and she was chewing the beetle nuts, and the beetle juice was almost about to spill over her lips, and it was really very irritating to Wally. Yes, I'm traveling alone, she answered curtly. And I have got a ticket too. Yes, she's on her way to town, said the conductor, with a 30 pass ticket. When this old woman asked that, are you traveling all alone? She said that, yes, I'm traveling alone. She said, and I have got my ticket. I have purchased my ticket also, and I'm traveling alone. She said very curtly. That means without any kind of a respect, or kind of a irritation on face. And immediately the conductor came and he said, yes, she is on her way to town with a 30 pies ticket. She paid 30 pies also, the conductor said. Oh, why don't you mind your own business, said Wally. So immediately Wally said to the conductor, hey, why don't you just mind your own business? She was just saying to the conductor. But she laughed all the same, and the conductor also laughed. So both of them again, the Wally said that, why don't you just mind your own business? She said, and both of them, both the conductor and the girl, started laughing. But the old woman went on with her drivel in the sense of silly nonsense. She started continuing, just talking on talking some silly nonsense things. And she said that, is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? She was saying. So how can such a young person travel alone? Such a small girl, is it right to travel all alone? She was saying. And do you know exactly where you are going in the town? What's the street? What's the house number? You needn't bother about me. I can take care of myself, Wally said, turning her face towards the window and staring out. And here, the moment Wally and the conductor was just talking and laughing, immediately this old woman said that, how can a small girl travel all alone? And immediately she started questioning the girl that, do you know where exactly you are going in the town, to which street or which house number or which town? Where are you going? Do you know exactly where you are going in the town? To which, what's the street name and what is the house number? So do you know all these things? The woman started asking, and immediately this girl, she was annoyed and irritated, and she said that, you needn't bother about me. No need of bothering about me, and I can take care of myself. Wally said it annoyingly, and she just turned towards the window. You can see in the picture here. She just turned towards the window and she was staring out. Okay. So with these children, we have completed the second part of the lesson. Madam rides the bus. Hope you have understood it. If you have any doubts, try to contact us so that we will clarify your doubts. And in the next part, we will be going through the third part of the lesson. Okay, children? Hari Om. Thank you.